To start off, I will be talking about what is ocean acidification, what are its effects on the planet, and how is climate change affecting it, how we can maybe try and reduce it. Let's start off with what is ocean acidification. Ocean acidification is a process where the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is getting absorbed into the ocean at a rapid rate. This is causing the ocean to acidify, making the marine life in there start to die. This is also making shelled creatures like crabs, lobsters, clams, and other types of shelled marine life having their own shells disintegrating. Explain this better. What is carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is something that is in the atmosphere along with CO2. Carbon dioxide is an important part of our lives as it helps us all live. Without carbon dioxide, we would all be dead because it is something that keeps all life alive. Carbon dioxide is able to trap heat like all the greenhouse gases. It is one of the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. But where is carbon dioxide coming from? Carbon dioxide is coming from the burning of fossil fuels, oils, natural gases, and coal. Where does the carbon dioxide go? After the carbon dioxide gets released into the atmosphere, it starts doing the carbon cycle, where after it gets released into the atmosphere, it starts going down into the ocean, where it will start to get absorbed into the ocean through a process called photosynthesis through plankton and algae. But since the 18th century, the ocean's acidity has increased by 30% since the industrialization began. This means that now the ocean is absorbing more and more carbon dioxide, and at a rapid pace. This would now mean that the amount of extra carbon in the atmosphere is only going to increase the acidity of the ocean even more. What's ocean acidification effects on the planet, us, and animals? First off, the effects ocean acidification has is huge, with shelled creatures or ones that grow skeletons being affected by it best. Corals, sea urchins, oysters, mussels, starfish, crabs, lobster, scallops, and clams get affected largely by the ocean acidifying. Why does it affect them? When the ocean starts to acidify, the shells or skeletons on marine life start to dissolve. This would mean that any marine life which tries to grow a skeleton or shell would fail doing so because of such acidity, and pre-existing skeletons or shells would also start getting dissolved. How does ocean acidification affect us? Well, out in the world many people enjoy eating the seafood that comes from the ocean. But since ocean acidification is starting to happen, this would mean that we would be losing some of the food we take. This would also mean that countries that are known for certain seafoods would be at loss with income because of the marine life that provide the food dying. But it can also affect us health-wise. Right now in the ocean, specifically the coral reefs. Coral reefs, including the animals, are now a very important source for new medicines that are in development to treat certain diseases and things like cancer, arthritis, human bacterial infections, Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, and other viruses. A few more ways it can affect us is by food poisoning from eating the affected fish, and having problems with breathing or respiratory because of the air quality. Did you know that coral reefs make half of the oxygen on Earth? Well, since coral reefs grow skeletons, those skeletons are being absorbed into the ocean because of the acidity that has been happening. Coral reefs are responsible for 25% of the marine life that are in the oceans. If the coral reefs were to stop growing their skeletons, then we would be screwed, or in words also, screwed. In short terms, if we continue on with using things that generate large amounts of carbon, the effects will be devastating and will impact how most of us will live. But now that you have heard of what ocean acidification is and what it will do, I will now introduce a solution that may not solve it, but may reduce it to a good point. One way to reduce or stop ocean acidification is to stop using fossil fuels. Because of us burning the fossil fuels, the carbon travels up into the atmosphere to go back into the sea. Another way to also stop or at least help reduce the ocean acidification is to eat less meat and use less energy at home by unplugging devices and things that you are not using. We can also conserve the water that we are using, including using less plastic or remembering to recycle the plastic. This also includes to drive and fly less to places as they emit carbon into the air to go back into the ocean to then acidify the ocean even more. We can also recycle the stuff we use to make it so that it can help us and the earth. Why should you do all of this? If you listen to me again, Ocean acidification will have devastating effects on all of us, so if you really want to help, then do so. If you can't, that's fine.